DGP Rule 5. In case of emergencies, the MC may step into the game. However, the main organizer may not. He was explaining what they saw inside King Joe and in the USB. So everybody appeared in the loft and they were discussing. Everybody knows Victory is the imposter.
Please have an appropriate reaction for what's Victory.
Matt appears behind Key, giving a small clap. I'm so happy it was this easy to get you all this far, but all games need an ending. Matt takes out a gun, turning Kia around by their shoulder, and pushes it directly into their stomach. The party will notice Key was grabbing onto the end of the gun, and blood starts coming out from their stomach.
Leo instantly aims his gun kind of at a weird angle so he can't really see the blood, so he's kind of confused on what's happening, but he heard the shot. So he aims his gun and screams at Matt, "Hey, stop it! What are you doing?"
Victory goes over to Key and grabs hold of Key, as informed to me by the man upstairs.
If it isn't obvious, Key has just been shot right in her stomach. And she just collapses in Victory's arms as they fall. She can't really say too much, and she tries to reach out for Victory's face, but just as she goes to touch his face, everything just goes dark for her. Her hand drops. She ended up protecting Victory in her last moment. All the blood goes back into the body. The chicken pops out and the chicken disappears. The body that the chickens inhabit reverts back to their human original look, which is a mid-teenage young girl's body, but they don't move. The body is now fixed and healed, everything is fine, but Key is now gone. The chickens in the bag at this moment have huddled in the bag and they have not said anything. Like, all the chickens knew what was going to happen if they shared this information, so there was really no need for them to say anything. They all were in solidarity with this one thing that happened.
Joseph just goes over to Victory with the girl's body and like his like arms, and he takes the shoulders and is like, "Are you guys okay?" And he like rattles the body. He didn't like register that the chickens are like in the bag right now and stuff, so he's like mildly concerned because they just got shot and it doesn't look good even if they healed up. Like, what is this kind of magic? And he's like mainly concerned about Yoko being hurt too or something.
Is Matt still like standing there with the gun?
Matt stands near the party. He drops the gun. His face is emotionless.
Can Leo try to shoot him?
Leo attempts to shoot. The bullet grazes past Matt, not even like touching him, but like barely passing by him and missing entirely. Matt says softly, with no hint of regret in his voice, "If you want something done right." The room around the party starts to wipe away, revealing the platform they've always known. Except now, there is a single moon eclipsing the sun.
What the f*** is wrong with you? And I will try to grab the belt. I'm gonna hit the guy. The guy had a gun. Kill Key. I'm gonna try transform. Can I do that?
All right, so attempt to transform, fool.
Fix the bow tie. Catchphrase. I'm not gonna say it this time. Catchphrase.
Matt kind of rushes over in the blink of an eye and grabs Fool's bow tie.
Hey.
And then Matt punches Fool on the cheek.
Leo wants to rush in to keep shooting at Matt and to try and get a Fool away from Matt.
Joseph like spawns in his scythe, so he like spawns it in and like springs up and tries to get like a quick hit at Matt because he like noticed that Fool kind of cringe failed.
So Joseph runs over with their scythe and successfully hits Matt on the side of the face and is actually able to scratch off a piece of Matt's face. Underneath the left side of their face is darkness, but with a white circle under where their eye was.
He like starts staring at him and the cogs are also turning in his head and he's like, "Oh, you little and he like tries again to hit him, but I'm gonna assume he's not going to let him be hit, or like he's not gonna get hit a second time. So
Yosef tries again, swinging their scythe, and weirdly enough, Matt reaches out and grabs the scythe by the blade, but it still hurts him, and it like scratches away part of his skin too, revealing more of the despairness under the skin.
Yosef just despawns the scythe because, of course, it's not going to be any help anymore. And he like takes a few steps back because he obviously had to move, and he just like stands in front of V and the body.
Can Leo try to shoot him?
So Leo shoots out with their Antslinger, and Matt holds out his hands to try to like block him or even grab him, but the bullets go through Matt's hands and they start to puncture holes through them. All right, Victory, come on.
I know, the Victory's going through it. He just went through the stress of not being able to transform, and now his friend is dead in his arms. When he sees Matt as a despair, he summons his sword. You know how Kamen Riders can summon their weapons out of suits? So he does that, and he runs up to Matt to kill him.
So Victory puts the Yoko body on the ground, the human Yoko body on the ground, and summons a sword and rushes over to Matt. Sword over his head, and slashes at Matt. And it appears like part of Matt's body is pretty much cut in half, like diagonally, but it's just more of his despairness coming out too.
While all this fighting has happened, the chickens have popped out of the bag finally, and they're just kind of looking at the body, not really sure what to do. And they're looking at each other. They're wondering what to do next. And Zahn has been pretty quiet this whole season because they're more of the protector. They don't need to come out and help, if that makes sense, most of the time. So Yoko is now alone only with Zahn, and they kind of nuzzle, and Zahn can see that the two chickens need time still to process what's happened. And Zahn, the black chicken who has not really done much this season, runs up to the body, like with a little waddle, pops into the emblem that's on their chest, and black hair starts to grow from the body, and Zahn has returned. Stands up and just locks eyes with Matt. Her head's down, but she's like looking through her messy fringe, and her head just knocks back and goes, "You really thought that would get me? We have you in our sight now." Get ready! And just runs forward, and Henshins as she runs. Henshin! And she is in her fully black form with the power again building up. But because she's running so hard towards Matt, the temperature is already starting to build. You know how it's all about the force and the impact, so everything that hits her becomes part of like gained up power. It's already started growing through her feet, up her body, and it's starting to glow.
So Matt is seeing Zahn run towards him, and he just forms a vision driver on his waist.
Vision driver, login.
And instantly, he just slides his card in.
Install.
Kamen Rider Glimpse. So then Matt sees the daggers going towards him, and in rapid succession, kind of like blocks them, but is still taking very small hit points of damage. I guess as a cool little anime moment, I think the force will like have him knock both of them back a little bit, and Matt will stand with his hands behind his back. Matt was long gone even before this game. Matt. His desires took him over until he felt nothing but despair. Such a shame, too. He won DGP after DGP. He won so much he was even given a nickname, Ace. And after falling to despair, he wished to be part of the game forever, becoming a husk of his former self. Then one man came along, the destroyer of worlds, offering him a chance to get his old life back in exchange of 4 other lives. And it was so easy too. I just had to put doubts in those who killed Glaive. I framed victory for destroying a universe. I took part of Yosef's power to create a bridge between moons, and the rest fell from there.
I want the victory. It's always you in it. It's you in it.
Victory walks over to Fool and collar grabs him and says, "It wasn't me!"
All this without the main organizer knowing. It was perfect until a fool came along. You ruined everything.
I look around. Guys, I promise I'm not a world destroyer, but how exactly?
It's probably like I said. You're our wild card.
Oh, I'm like the Joker. I look at Matt. Can I get some context, please?
Zahn slowly turns her head around. Her head is very heavy, this character, I think. She's very, like, head heavy on either side, so she just turns around slowly, and her head follows and goes, "You f***ed up the situation, love. You made it worse for all of us."
What did I do? I didn't do shit. Also, hi. My name is Paul. What did I do?
Yeah, I heard about you from the other chickens, by the way. Thank you for that.
Okay, everybody hates me. You guys hate me.
I mean, Key was the only one that actually liked you, and now she's gone because of this bozo.
I miss them so much. And I look at Matt. Why the f*** do you have to kill that one person? What did I do to you, man? Do I have my bow tie? Did he, like, rip it out?
You still have it. He just, like, grabbed onto it at first.
Okay, I will adjust it.
Matt rushes over once again to Fool and grabs him by the neck.
Everybody likes my neck, don't they? Dear Lord.
Leo wants to shoot directly for Matt's hand to see if he could get Full free so he can transform.
Leo shoots their gun, and Matt just reflects the bullet, kind of like a slap. Oh, slapping away the bullet. And then Matt looks over to Fool. A fool never knows when to stop talking. Let's change that.
Hey, listen, man. I don't want to die. I kind of need my mouth. I kind of need to perform. Hey, buddy.
Fool, what is your wish?
My wish? I want to be a performer, entertainer. Is that good enough? Will you let me live now?
You've entertained me enough. And Matt throws Fool off the side of the platform.
Yosef like runs after Fool's flying body, trying to like catch onto him so he doesn't fall into nothingness.
Yosef runs over and reaches out their hand, and Fool barely at the last second is able to catch on.
I catch him with one hand. I'm like leaned over the edge, like with one hand trying to keep my body on the platform. One hand, like I grab his like lower arm and try to like pull him back up, and I look back and I'm like, Leo, can you please like pull my legs and pull me back up? I will myself if we both fall.
Victory, can you cover me?
Yeah.
Leo runs over to Yosef, presuming Victory has his back, and just starts to tug on Yosef's legs.
This hurts like shit, but okay, I'm gonna be so honest. I overestimated me, but at least Fool isn't dead.
I'm so proud of your sudden character moment. You should use both arms to pull him up.
I take my second arm and like swing it over the ledge. Since you were holding my legs, I'm gonna assume Leo fully with hopefully all your arm strength. And I swing my second arm back down. I'm like, give me your hand. And I'm like pulling Fool up, like holding his like lower arms. He holds my lower arms, like not by the hands, but like pulling him up like this with all my strength. And I'm like breaking a sweat because I'm like an office worker. I have no strength in my arms. This was like totally like reflex.
Zahn walks over to Victory. I wonder why he didn't ask me for cover. I could have done it.
So then Matt looks at the rescue that's happening and stands still a little bit, reminiscing.
Yosef is sitting like back on his ass and it's like, oh my god, I'm never gonna do that again. Please, next time I ever think of moving a finger for anybody, I will kill myself.
Love you guys so much. Oh dear Lord. Oh my life. Okay.
What would you ever do without us, clown man?
What would I do without you guys? You know, I'm sorry for everything Mina said to you. Your emo face is so cool.
Matt looks at all the hysteria happening too after the rescue and puts his head down, rubs his like hand against his forehead. You know, you would have just fell from the sky.
Zahn, hearing this, goes, okay then, let's test that theory. and runs full power into Matt and tries to push him off.
So Zahn pushes Matt off the platform and falls with him. While Matt was right that they did appear from the sky, this time it's like a full force, like just hitting against the platform.
Are you okay? Are you guys' bones okay? Not Matt. I'm not asking you. You can off. You can die. But Zahn, are your bones okay? That sounded like it was a really bad impact.
Like the smoke clears and Zahn has actually landed on her feet, and her body is full of energy right now because of the force of the landing.
So from there, the glimpse armor starts to crack too, and Matt slowly starts to disintegrate, just like a despair. He looks up towards the eclipse. So this is how it feels to lose. The Mitch I knew would have loved to have seen this. Through the remaining ashes lies a pendant, with the end in the shape of a crescent moon, similar to Yosef's.
Yosef sees the glittering of the pendant and walks up to it, and he's like, "The dude's gone, right?" He asks over his shoulder to the others.
It felt off like a guy that tried to throw me off a platform. Maybe, it's one of those Yu-Gi-Oh! Chop cards and you die instantly when you touch it.
Yeah, but it looks like the necklace I already have, and I say that while I'm already starting to squat down and reach out my hand and I take it into my hand, and it's got a really weird energy to it. He's not sure if he likes it or not, but he contemplates it a bit and puts it in his pocket.
Leo puts his Antslinger back into its holster and calls out to the rest of his team. How are we sure this Matt guy can't have his damage reset just like all of ours? How do we know he can't just come back somewhere?
That is a phenomenal question. How do we know that? I look at Zahn, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Zahn. So, do you know? Because I'm kind of lost, and if you could, catch me up, what did I do?
You weren't supposed to be here, dude. That's essentially it.
Yeah, but how can my presence? I'm a lovely guy. How can my presence really ruin that much for a guy? People love me at parties.
We were supposed to have average reactions, I guess maybe expected or planned reactions, and then you set that off that.
Zahn walks up to Fool and still got all this energy in their suit and just stamps their foot on the ground, which makes the whole ground shake a bit. And Fool falls back a bit. That's all the energy dispersed now. And Zahn just leans over and goes, "You weren't meant to be here, so obviously you were... I don't think it's anything to do with you necessarily, but you just... What's the phrase? Oh, you put a spanner in the works. That's the phrase, right, guys?"
Put it like this, like how Victor was supposed to shoot Key, just like that. It was an accident. You were an accident.
My mother told me that as well.
The platform starts to shake. A big crack forms down the middle.
That wasn't my fault, I promise.
Guys, so how are we going to get out of here, and how are we going to stop falling forever and ever and ever?
Leo's already getting ready to transform. I have my plan. He puts in the gimmick for his super form, which does allow him flight. So he plans to just kind of float in space until he can figure something out.
You can't just off without us.
When I have enough time to figure out a plan for everyone else, I'll do something.
And what are we going to do in the meantime? Fall until infinity?
Yeah.
What if I have to piss?
In the void.
But it will fall with us. What?
The platform splits in two, with Yosef, Victory, and Zahn on one half of the platform, and Fool and Leo on the other.
So if the platform, if you fall into void, you'll lift me up, right? You won't let me die, right?
I can't. Yeah, it's in my capability to lift at least one person.
And you choose Fool over us? Wow.
You guys are putting me in a tough spot.
I think the situation's tough already, sir.
Around the party, both sides, the area gets wiped away. This time, the party are in a circular room. The blinding white lights surround a fancy long table in the middle of the area. A young woman sits at the end of the table, waving her hand, gesturing for the party to take a seat. The woman is in crimson clothing, as elegant as her accessories. She corrects a piece of her purple hair and gives the party a smile.
Hello there. I'm Akina. You may not know me, but I am the current CEO of Freedom Foundation.
Why'd you fire Dan?
Oh, going straight for the questions, I see. Oh, how about we just sit down first and then we can discuss all the details?
Leo casually removes his gimmick from his ant slinger now. He sees that he doesn't need it and just awkwardly puts it back.
I'm just saying, if my guy was named Dan, I'll probably fire him too. What a mediocre name, right, guys?
That's pretty toxic, actually.
Sorry, the hater in me won for a second. Yeah, let's sit.
Fool, what was it? Cricket McCracken, right? To be honest, I agree with you, fool. But for now, let us all sit down at this table and I'll be able to explain a bit more for you.
Before we sit down, I need a few minutes to reset because a lot just happened. I saw someone die in front of my eyes. I nearly fell into infinity. That one dude was in despair and was upset about his gay ex-lover. I'm sad and I need a second. I need a minute.
Next time, on the finale of Henshins and Dragons, our first party member is now gone. Ki, one of Yoko's chickens, who was kind and took care of her friends. And to put it more bluntly, it is our first permadeath of Henshins and Dragons.